2, 3. Something in the water, something in the air I breathe. All my troubles like a bird fly free. Just coast. Feel it in the black sand and the rough sea. Strong comfort pulling on my
Welcome back to OpenEnds. Wherever you're tuning in from, thank you for being here. I'm here with Hone for a conversation that will go wherever needs to. Ciao, bro.
Jamal, bro.
Thanks for being on the podcast, bro.
Thanks for having me.
When I reached out, what was your initial thing when I said, do you want to be on the podcast? What did you think?
Initially I was like, bit hesitant. Not because of podcast itself, just I like to be in the background of things, not in the front. I tried getting one of our other coaches in, but same thing, he's a bit busy today. But yeah, we're here. Whānau te kaupapa.
No, all good. No, thank you for being on, bro. There was a kaupapa that you had that really drawn me to messaging you, and that was a big reason for wanting to have you on here today, because I definitely know your story will inspire someone else out there. So introduce yourself, bro. So anyone that doesn't know you that's listening.
Kia ora, ko hone la whenui tōku ingoa, huri tēnei no ngā tū whare toa no Te Atiawa. My name's John Love Henry. Everyone calls me Hone. Given that name when I went to kura kaupapa Māori. So been brought up in Te Ao Māori since I was a baby. Born and bred in Taupo, moved over to Murupara 5-6 years ago now. Beautiful, I'm a father of 4 beautiful kids, 3 girls, 1 boy, and a husband too, to my wife.
What are their names? What are your babies' names?
Our oldest girl's called Te Auepo, after her it's Te Maihi, and after her it's our boy Te Rangi Tamaku, who's on the autism spectrum, so he's my superhero, call him my superhero boy, and our youngest girl is Te Oriwa.
Oh, beautiful, bro. What are the ages?
So our big girl, she's 14, Te Maihi is 8, Te Rangi Tamaku is 27, and Te Oriwa is 5, 26.
Oh, mean, brother. No, well, with everything you got going on, especially with owning a gym. So if you don't know and you're tuning in now, Hone owns Tūtani Wha here in Murupara. What made you get into the gym? Like, where did that begin?
I never planned on owning a gym or opening up a gym. So it all started initially when we moved back to Murupara about 5 or 6 years ago. I was still competing in kickboxing. And at the time I was training for a world title, for a New Zealand title. Having to travelling back and forth from here to Taupo nearly every second night just for training. It got a bit too much, so me and my wife started getting our own gym equipment and just training out of our shed. Then it just led on from that. Because during that time, I was teaching. So I'm a registered teacher as well, so I was teaching at the local school, Murupara area school. And my first couple months here, I was driving the streets, or coming back home late at night after school. And coming back from Taupo, and I just noticed heaps of our kids just roaming. So about 9-10 o'clock at night. And it got to me, especially coming from Taupo, don't really see that now these days. So we just invited some of our nephews and nieces to do some kickboxing out of our shed. And from there, bro, it just all fell into place. I just say, mahi a te wairua. My wairua telling me that this is something that I'm meant to be doing, sort of thing. And one thing led to another. Started with our kids going from the kura, all our kura kids. Then it started from our men. Some of the brothers around here just messaging, asking if they could come and have a train too. And we ended up having 12 nearly every day coming to our shed just training. Then from there, their wives, their partners, messaged my wife. And so we had men and our ladies training, just doing what we can with what equipment we had. It wasn't much.
At the time, was that a free kaupapa, or was it something that you were trying to do financially?
Nah, so initially we never charged anyone. We never even thought about charging everyone. It was just all free kaupapa. Just turn up, you're willing to put in some mahi and try create change in yourself and your whānau, more than happy to come along. Yeah, bro. So we started off with 12 tāne, then our ladies come in, and we had our whānau. So during that time, this was all in the first, second year of us moving here. During that time, I was still training kickboxing and training my daughter, Te Auepo, our oldest girl. And during that time, one of the big families around here, my wife's uncle and auntie, messaged us asking if her husband and their kids could come and learn some Muay Thai, some kickboxing. And that's how our fight team started, our kickboxing team he started. Just from the three of them, a father and his two boys. And then that exploded too.
Well, so that's your background, Muay Thai?
Yeah. So done Muay Thai for about, now it'll be about 9-10 years. But growing up, it was league, rugby league, just a typical Māori whānau, bro. Dad and that were all my uncles and my father was all into league. League was life. No choice but to play league and rugby.
No, I know exactly what that feels like,
bro. Even though deep down inside of me, I always knew I wanted to do kickboxing or something in the martial arts realm. Just watching too many action movies, I think.
Yeah. Too many Tekken one-on-ones.
Tekken and all of that, just all those games that we all grew up playing.
So how long you been Muay Thai for?
19 years now.
Far out. What actually got you into Muay Thai before? Like obviously league was, you're saying that was predominant within your family, but what got you into Muay Thai?
Before I started Muay Thai, bro, I happened to go through like a very dark place. Go into a very dark place after a breakup, and I was lost for like a couple months, just drinking with the boys down at one of the local houses back home in Taupo, call it 24, and all our brothers were nearly every second day, bro, we were drinking, and it wasn't until one of my good mates, I call him my brother, my good mate, Wirumi Tikani, where me and him decided just to go into one of the local martial arts gyms back home. At the time there was Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and Muay Thai, but we went in for Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, bro. And going through those doors that day saved my life, like big time saved my life. So when I walked through those doors, I cut right down on my drinking, going clubbing and that. Yeah, just focus. I don't know, it was something new. Everything was new. I was getting humbled every training. So I was a bit of a hothead growing up, bro. I was a bit of a hothead, thinking I was untouchable, and it was worse on the rugby league field. Just thinking I was untouchable. Wasn't until I got humbled at Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, bro, brought me right down. But that was something that, sometimes getting humbled like that, people shy away from it, but not me. I was hungry to learn heaps as much as I can.
I think that's where you grow. You know, you grow in those real uncomfortable places, those places that you've never known before. You know, that comfortable place is definitely nice and feels nice and comfortable, but you don't grow there.
Yeah.
You know, so putting yourself into those environments, you know, especially after a situation that you've gone through. And a lot of tāne, you know, that's a situation. I know now, you know, amazing husband, you have a beautiful wife and a beautiful whānau now. But that situation is it's hard for a lot of tāne. You know, I feel. What is it you think? You know, you think.
Yeah.
I've said for myself. If I was to say for myself, brother, I am so resilient in all aspects of life. No matter what situation or circumstance I'm put in front of. But when it comes to my other half, my spouse, it's the only place that really just humbles me, you know, humbles me, and it's a feeling of, you know, if that was to go, what do I have next?
Yeah, bro.
You know?
Yep.
Yeah, so.
Well, looking back, like my upbringing wasn't all roses and that, but I would never change it. Never change how I was brought up, our circumstances. never change it, because it's in those, like what you just said, bro, in those tough times. Looking back now as an adult, look back and it's like, wow, I learned so much from those situations.
You wouldn't be the man you are
without
them.
No, bro. And I think, as I mentioned before, mahi a te wairu, I honestly think it was that. It was just meant to be. Like me stepping into that gym and to where I am now. Because we had no plans. Like, we were, all us boys, you know how boys are, just talk about, yeah, let's go learn how to do this, do that. It wasn't until me and my mate just decided, we were walking into town one day and we walked straight past the doors and looked and said, that Osprey, let's go and have a look. And we're lucky enough to have a free turn. I have a lesson with one of the coaches there, Rob, gave us and we got humbled big time.
What do you think? What do you think it is, bro? Like, I believe movement is medicine, and for me, I've only just I've gotten into running, and for me, we have a love-hate relationship, me and running, but it just feels like the noise turns down just a little bit, just notches down a little bit. You know, so I don't know if it's just movement in general, whatever type of movement that you get into. You know, you don't have time to sit there and think, hey, you know, you're busy, you know, so I think that's probably what it is, eh?
I think that's the biggest reason why I love physical activity. It's that you've got no time to think about anything else, anyone else. All you're trying to do is survive, especially in those grueling things. You just have to think about the task that's in front of you. Everything else shuts out. I don't have to worry about anything. I don't have to worry about the bills. I don't have to worry about how I'm feeling at last night. All I'm focusing is what's in front of me and trying to get at it.
So for a man back then that I guess was navigating life and going through the paces of it and stumbled into a gym, you've been able to give that experience to others.
Yeah, bro. Yeah. And for me, when people look at a gym, they just think of people trying to look good. But 99% or 90% of the people that are in that gym are there for reasons far beyond just looking good. You know? For example, myself, I was there just to find myself, just to find something to keep me out of trouble. And I found it. I was lucky enough to find it. But I was lucky because when I was doing jiu-jitsu, we weren't going to any tournaments and I was getting a bit bored. I'm someone that likes to have competition, so I jumped in the kickboxing Muay Thai gym, side of the gym. And my coach there, Justin, he's the one who taught me a lot, not just about kickboxing, the art of fighting, but life in general, bro. I think if I didn't have him as a coach during that time, a lot of the person I am now would be totally different, because he just didn't teach us how to fight, taught us how to be better people, to strive for something, set goals, and just work towards it.
And how powerful is having that mentorship? I know from my upbringing, role models were very thin.
Yeah.
You know, so to grasp and have something like that, you know. And I'm not trying to dive deep in the topic, but you know, we can highlight the fact of our groups, you know, of our brothers that get together and if they're gang affiliated or something like that. And a lot of people look from the outside and look in a not so positive way, you know, but if they look deep of why the brother got into something like that, there's mamai, there's hurt, you know, there's a sense of, we all want some sense of belonging and some sense of connection, our identity, where do we fit in this world? You know, so when you find that, hold on to it, eh?
Yeah, bro. I still hold on to that to this time, to this day. And just the way he carries himself, like, you're not serious, he's a joker. I think I like that about him, joker. But you know that he's got your back 100. I think that's how I try to carry myself, especially with our fighters. I tell them, I've been in your father's position. We know what you're going through in terms of the fight sport, but it's bigger than that. It's bigger than just getting yourself ready mentally, physically for yourself to step into that ring. It's just trying to be a better person, be a better version of yourself than what you were yesterday.
That's the kōrero that keeps shining around everywhere I go. You know, I think now that I've stepped into this kaupapa in this space, you know, being a better version than I was yesterday. I'm not trying to compete with anyone else but the man that stood there yesterday.
Yeah, bro.
You know,
Yep.
that's it.
Yeah.
You know, obviously, a lot of people inspire me, but I'm just trying to be a better me.
Yeah, bro.
And do I know what that looks like? I don't know.
Yeah.
You know, but I'm becoming. Hey, I'm trying. That's the main thing. I'm trying, bro. You know, and that's all it is. You know, for a brother out there, just give something a go.
Yeah, bro. Because growing up in school, bro, I had a lot of role models that saved me, that taught me a lot. But the biggest thing that I learned from my teachers in particular, especially my auntie, she was our principal growing up, is that me mate ururo ke oro ai tō kaupapa. It's just to give your all so that your kaupapa survives and flourishes. And she was a principal. She was one of the ones that started our kura back home. And it was only small. Looking at it now, it's flourished big time. Flourished big time. And it's those little examples that I've taken on board into my adult life now. It's quite hard to explain. So that's how I try to emulate myself as a person. If I can change one person's life, I'll die a happy man. And I always say that. I've said that from the get-go. I
think me and you are aligned more than you think, brother. Yeah. And if you don't know, if you're still listening in, this is the first time I've met Honi. You know, so and he's invited me into his home, Manaki. You know, which has been choice. You know, and it's good to feel. You know, especially when you come here. I just thought it was going to be in the gym, and for me, creating spaces like this, it's just being able to go somewhere where you feel comfortable, eh, brother? You know. Yeah. Not put you in a room and say, here, answer these questions for me. No, but you're definitely highlighting some good points, bro. You know, everyone thinks, oh, he owns this and he's doing this, but we all got our own things that we close the door on.
Yeah, bro.
You know?
For me, I don't like to say that I own the gym, because when especially me and my partner, we talk about the gym as more than just a place where you lift weights. It's a kaupapa to us. It's a vehicle for us to achieve our goal. Our goal for this kaupapa, which is to create positive generational changes in our whānau and our community.
I was going to ask that question. If someone was sitting on the fence and they were listening to this here in Arohe, where they're from, Ruatauna, Wāhau, Murupara, Galatea, what are the benefits that you feel someone will obtain coming to Taniwha?
Obviously physical, like physically fit, changes in your body, but far beyond that, the most important benefits I see is the changes in their wairua. So kei tua o te tuakiri o te tangata, far beyond the physical aspects of the person. Those are the changes that we look for and we love seeing. Got parents coming in, tired, just trying to look for something for themselves. They leave happier mothers, happier fathers, and you can see that in the kids too. The social aspect, because a lot of our whānau, the social aspect they know is drinking, getting on the piss, drinking alcohol, doing all of that. But doing it in a kaupapa where it's just helping each other become better versions of themselves, then you start to see everyone develop more. Not just in terms of their physical ability, but how they talk to themselves, how they talk to others, setting goals, all of that stuff, bro. So for me, it's more than the physical changes that I like. Those are just a bonus. Physical changes are a bonus to us. It's all the other stuff. Social aspect, the taha wairua.
It's the inner.
Yeah, bro.
It's the inner things that you you can't really mark on, you know, it's not
No.
something you can go to, you can have a document and say, oh, yep, his anxiety's
Yeah.
dropped, you know,
Yeah.
but you see it,
Yeah, bro.
hey, you see it. And then I worked up at Galatea Kura, and for me, I was the youth mentor up there, and for me, that was everything, you know, to see a young boy with shy, scared to speak, and to be able to bring out confidence in him.
Yep.
You know, I didn't do nothing. I just said, this is what you can do.
Yeah.
And it was still up to him. And he took it on board, and then to see him speak at an assembly or something was like, proud,
Yeah.
you know. He might not have known his literacy, you know, but that was an aspect that he built,
Yep.
you know, and we all got our strengths, eh? And for me to see that was like, wow.
That's what matters the most to
Yeah.
us. It's all those little things, bro. Physical side is a bonus, but when you start to see their confidence improve, their self-belief, and their love for themselves, you know, it's hard to love yourself, especially as a Māori and a Māori male at that. For you to be able to say, look in the mirror and say, oh, man, proud of you, hard. That word proud, saying to someone you're proud of them, only once in a lifetime you'll hear that in a Māori whānau, Māori men in particular. So very staunch, try to be staunch. I grew up with staunch fathers, father, uncles, and I think that's what my problem was growing up, trying to live in their light and emulate how they were. 'Cause growing up hearing the stories of my uncles and my dad, geez, no one would mess with them.
Big shoes to fill, eh?
Yeah, trying to fill those shoes, bro, and I think that's where it started going down the wrong track, trying to fill the shoes, where not realising that where my dad and all my uncles were growing up was a totally different world. The way they lived life, totally different to what we are now, to what I was.
Oh, don't get me wrong, I think every aspect of staunch, or I don't know, mana, hey, we need that. We need that. But we also need everything else, you know, and it's being able to embrace that, you know, and understand it. And I think that's the thing, it's understanding it. I know for me, I can speak on my experiences. My wife knows every ounce of me, every part of me, you know, and that's a safe space that I've been able to show, you know, but it's still a safe space that I can't create, you know, as I'm still challenging myself to create in the open, you know, around other tāne, around other people in general. You know, I think the secret to vulnerability is showing it. Hey, I can't tell another tāne to be vulnerable and not do that myself, you know, so that was the hard thing for me growing up, was saying that I wasn't okay. You know, there was a thing that you mentioned just before, bro, saying I'm proud of you. What did you mean by that? Is that something that you found hard to say for yourself?
At times, bro, at times. Yeah. So I was lucky. My dad used to say that quite a lot, especially on like achievements. So I was lucky to get that. But then when you're just living life at the moment, so many hats to fill, all these kaupapa going on. And for me personally, as a father, bro, I feel like I'm sometimes lacking in giving my time and energy to my tamariki. And that was one of the biggest reasons why I left teaching. Not just to focus more on this kaupapa, but because our boy was just starting school. And because he's high on the autism spectrum, I was finding it hard to give time and energy to him so he could feel supported transitioning into school from kohanga.
And how was that? May I ask, how was that with your boy? You know, for someone else that might be going through that situation, what does a day look like for that?
Oh, the days change every single day. You know, people say that we need a break from him, but just can't. My boy's taught me more about myself and life than anyone has throughout my whole life, bro. Like, his ability to read the room and go to the people who he feels safe with is top notch. He's not non-verbal, so he can't speak. Super hypo. Fearless, so no sense of danger. But just it's seen the improvement daily from him. I feel accomplished. Like you get a sense of accomplishment seeing him improve. Like at the last year, that was his first year of kura. We'd have to pick him up at 10:30 every day, just because he wasn't used to it, and he got hoa. Starting of this week, or last week was the first week back of kura this year. Full days, just out of nowhere, full days, 3 o'clock, coming back on the van. Bro, we were happy. Everyone messaging us that know our boy, far out, he's done so mean, he's accomplishing all of this stuff. And it's our boy that's making me just cherish those moments. Because when you're in the grind, you miss all of that stuff. Especially teachers, bro. They give so much of their time, their energy, and their money and their putea to other kids that sometimes we fall behind in looking after our own whānau. And I felt that. I noticed that I missed a lot of kaupapa with my girls, especially my big girl. There's a few kaupapa I couldn't go just because of mahi. And when that time come for our boy to make his transition over to kura, I was like, oh well, we'll focus on the tūtani wha kaupapa, and that way I can put more time into our kids, into our babies. Financially, it hasn't been the right move, but money's not everything, though.
Yeah, I think you mentioned wairua. I think it's important we follow where that goes. And it's not so much financially is it the right move. I think your wairua said this is the right move.
Yeah.
It was where it was supposed to be aligned. Whether you're, hey, I'm a father still trying to find this balance of this thing we call life, brother.
Yeah.
As a father of 5 daughters, that word balance, what is that? What is balance? What in the ideal world for you? You've mentioned kaupapa that you wish you were able to be present at. What does an ideal balance look like to you?
Geez, that's a tough one. Me personally, to be able to go to every single event of my kids, that'll be the ideal perfect balance. But life's not perfect, and it shouldn't be too. Life shouldn't be perfect. Because when it's too comfortable, like you mentioned before, there's no room for growth. It's in those uncomfortable stages and those hard situations. That's where we learn the most about ourselves and about our abilities to persevere. I think a lot of us tend not to do things because of the unknown, the fear of the unknown. We face everything and we run. But if you can face those challenges, those unknowns, you'll rise. And not many people understand that. You will rise to the occasion. May not be as soon as you want it to be, but eventually you'll learn the skills, you'll persevere, you'll rise above those challenges, bro.
What would you say to someone that has been sitting on the fence of wanting to do something great, or not even great, just wanting to do something that they want to do, they have thought about for so long but procrastinated? What would you say to them?
So I always just say, just start. Don't have to have the answers, don't have to have the plan, just start. The best way to learn is by starting, and that's anything in life. I've pushed a few people just out the door, come on, just start, just go, just do it. Because once you say, oh, I don't have this, I don't have that, then it just all piles on. You don't have that, you don't have this, you'll never have that, so you never start. And you just never know where that journey could possibly take you. I mean, the only way you will fail is if you quit, if you stop. If you try and try and try again, you're never a failure in my eyes. You're just finding ways to improve, to develop your skills so you can be successful in whatever journey you want to follow.
Well, a lot of people, they shy away from this word failure. You know, I don't even believe in the word failure. I believe in a lesson. You know, and if it's something that didn't work, it's told me is that that's not the way. You know, got to find another way. You know, there's always another way, Abel. There's always another way. Sometimes we're so focused in tunnel vision to this thing and say this is the way, but there's always another way to whatever you're trying to achieve or do in your life.
Hard, bro. Hard.
What's something that's challenged you in your life that you've overcome?
Oh, heaps, bro. Heaps of challenges. Recently, it's just the amount of kaupapa. Because I never grew up with money, I've never hungered for it. So recently if our whānau can't afford to pay for the gym, we let it slide. Pai ana tērā. But in terms of the drawbacks of that, it puts a financial strain on us. And I was just going through the heads, bro, just going over and over and over in those dark spaces at times. And my wife, she's my light, just like you, bro. She's my light. She's the one who grounds me, and just figures out ways, take the lessons from what my challenges have been. And only recently, bro, I'll be honest, it's only been about, I think since I moved here. Since I met my wife. So me and my wife have been together for, I don't want to get this wrong, 10 years maybe? 9 or 10 years, and since I met her, bro, that's when I started to understand that it's alright to go through those hard times, but it's the challenge, it's the lessons that you take out from those hard times that matters the most. And growing up, I would just blame everyone. Nah, not my fault. Nah. But now, because of my wife, I actually sit back and think about what were the lessons, what did I do, how can I improve the situation next time. Yeah, bro, just take what you said, taking those lessons out of anything.
Yeah, I think for anyone wanting change in life, the day I stood there, looked myself in the mirror and said, my life is not going the way that I want it to go because of that man.
Yeah.
That man that I'm looking at was the day that changed me.
Yeah, bro.
Those days that I could blame people and put an excuse in front of the things and to justify the reason of why I'm not where I want to be. That's the day that kept me here, kept me there. And the day that I said, no, oh, you don't have this? Your fault. Oh, yeah, we want your fault. When I done that, that's when my life changed.
Same here, bro. Same here. And the amount of brothers that are inspirations to me from that come to the gym, heaps. They don't even know how inspiring they are. But that same thing, bro. Looked at myself, just learn the lessons, don't blame anyone.
Yeah, I think that's what it's about, bro. I just in that short moment, bro, of me being at your gym before you invited me into your whare, the amount of people that said hello to you, just that, so this person that you're explaining on the podcast, this is who you are. I was carrying my stuff, bro, and literally I was like, wow, he's a man about community. Community knows him. They know his kaupapa, they know what he does, they know him as a person. And to get that, you don't just get that for free. You get that by being the person you are. You don't just get that by owning it or like having a gym to offer for other people. You get that for being who you are. And so if it was to shine any light on who you are, that was everything to me. That explained your character to me before I even sat down. So me driving to your whare, I was like, this fella's awkward, and I hadn't even had a kōrero yet, It's good to see, bro. You know, you got all different walks of life coming into the gym. Eh?
Yeah, bro.
I have a good mate of mine. And I asked him, "What's your goal in 5 years?" And he said to me he wanted to own a gym. You know, and he was quite a fit fella, quite a fit looking dude. Then I said to him, "Why do you want to own a gym?" You know, and he said, "Oh, I was overweight growing up, and I was bullied in school my whole life, and that's the reason why I wanted to own my own gym."
Yeah.
You know, we've all got a why, eh?
Yeah.
We've all got a why. You know, people see the outcome, but the why,
Yeah.
that's what carries us, eh?
Hard, bro.
So in your life now, you know, if you were to sit down and have a kōrero with your younger self, what would you say to him?
Persevere. Just keep going. Like, if I could look at my younger self, I would tell him to don't worry about the little things. Appreciate everything your parents do. Yeah, it'd be the biggest one, bro. Appreciate what mum and dad done. What they do. We never had much. Struggling, you know, just how we were growing up. Having to go down to your uncle's to get some salt or bread or butter. But mum and dad did their absolute best to raise me and my younger brother. And so I got two other siblings too, half, but they're my older sister, my older brother, to my father's kids. Yeah, but that'll be the biggest thing, bro. To appreciate what mum and dad done. What they always do. The dark times don't last forever.
Well, there will be no light without dark. Eh?
Yeah, bro.
You know, I think we get confused with that. You know, a lot of people don't want dark, but you know, they want light. But without the dark, there will be no light. Eh?
And I think the thing that, like, geez, with that question, bro, when I'm looking back now, the biggest example of change would be my dad. He would be the biggest example of being able to change. Growing up, bro, alcohol, just your normal, typical Māori thing, alcohol, smoking. He was a pack a day smoker, he was a real chain smoker. Bad at gambling, both of them, mum and dad. But now you look at them now, totally different person. Drinks once in a blue moon, don't smoke, doesn't gamble. But both
That's amazing.
Yeah, bro. I just look at them now as grandparents. I was like, I am proud of you. I'm proud of the people they are now. I think I've only seen my dad cry once my whole life, and that's when my nan, his mother, died. But he didn't cry in front of us. He had to walk out the back, trying to be staunch at the back of the house. I walked it back. You right, Dad? And then he finally broke down. That was the first time I ever heard him cry. I was like, yeah, you're allowed to cry. You're allowed to show your emotions. You know? But, yeah, mum and dad, bro, biggest examples of change. If they can change, anyone can change.
So you tell that young follower, the younger version of you, just appreciate mum and dad more.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, bro. As an adult now, as a father now, I appreciate them heaps.
I think if we look past the things,
Yeah.
hey, and look at the intention,
Yeah, bro.
you know, we wouldn't hold so much. But I do.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah.
You know, I think for myself, it's crazy that you highlight that, because I felt like I carried that, you know, in my mid-20s. You know, then kept growing as a father and realised, hey, it's not as easy as it's not as easy as it seems, you know.
Yeah, bro. And that's what blows me away. You know, even though we didn't have much in terms of money, mum and dad found a way to get us on all these awesome kaupapa, awesome haerenga, these experiences. They just made it work, bro. Like, it wasn't until I grew up, until I met my wife, and I was like, Did you used to like our bread pudding and or the rice pudding? He's like, hey, what's that? So, the leftover rice and you chuck some pie in there. Bro, that's what you have at my rice, love. It's like, you always just, that was nice. That was what we grew up on.
Bro, my wife literally, she cooked me a rice pudding in the oven. And she was cooking it, bro. And I remember when I wasn't watching it, but I remember when she pulled it out and she's like, oh, it's rice pudding. And I was like, this is not rice pudding. Bro, I just never knew. I literally thought it was the leftover rice, milk and sugar or cream and sugar.
Yeah, bro.
But for me, that was yum.
Yeah, that was nice.
I still have that some days.
Yeah.
I still have that.
It wasn't until I met my wife, it's like, we only have that at my rice. Like, well, that was nice to us. And bread pudding, that was nice.
Oh, man. Bit of bread pudding, eh? Wrap up all your bread.
Yeah, bro.
Bit of milk and some jam.
Yeah,
Your way.
Oh, man, could make some, I used to like his cooking. Still do.
Same. No, my old man. Oh, I don't know. My old man was a bit of a. It wasn't a specific meal. It was more like, what'd you put in the pot today, Dad? So whatever went in the pot.
Boil ups.
Yeah, that's it. It was just a bit of everything. Eh? He's oh, this guy's got in the boil up. Oh, yeah, all good. That's all we had left in there, son. Oh, sweet as. No, it's cool. I remember when I first went over to my girlfriend at the time, because I've been with my wife for 18 years, brother, and I remember going over there and she said, oh, we're having a barbecue, and I was like, oh, okay. Then we went over and it was like all this platter stuff, all this food platter stuff, and I was like, oh, what's all this stuff? Anyways, I had never had any of that stuff before, and I was 16. I had never had any of these cheese and crackers and all these different little dips and quints and pates and all this olives and all this stuff. She ended up making me some bacon and sausages, bro, and eggs. Anyways, now I'm like, oh, babe, should we get our platter? Should we get our platter for the beach?
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, I didn't even know all these things existed in the mall, in the supermarket. So literally now I'm looking at all these things and I'm like, oh, yeah, so has that always been? Just a staple food, eh?
Yeah, bro.
No, it's crazy. But now our parents, being a parent now, it's just trying to do our best, eh?
Yeah, hard out.
So your sorry, brother. Your kaupapa, if anyone doesn't know, what actually drew me to message you was a men's kaupapa that you run. Did run on Thursdays. You've just mentioned that it's changing to Wednesdays. Why did you start that? And what is that?
So the kaupapa you're talking about is our mana tani or tani only classes. That came up from because when we were in the shed just out there, we had separate classes or separate workouts, tani and our females, and one of our whānau members that are with us currently, he wanted to bring that back. Name's Muruai. He's a teacher at Murupara Area School, and one that we lean on for kaupapa Māori. Well, anyway, he wanted to start the mana tani class back up again. And initially, me and Bot were like, this is a bit too much money that can just come into our normal classes. But as the this kaupapa grew, we understood that it is an essential kaupapa. It's needed. Just because our tāne, some may not feel comfortable in a situation where you're a physically demanding situation where you could possibly look weak, and I'll put that in quotation marks, weak in front of the other sex, in front of our wahine, or different variety of reasons why. But
if you were to say it was one, what would it be?
One reason why we started it.
Yeah.
It'll be for that te whakapiki te mano te tāne, to bring out our mana of to uplift it. And because everyone's different, bro, all our brothers are different backgrounds, different situations, but when you come into that whare, underneath that kaupapa, all of those the background, all of the noise, all of the situations that you're going through is left out the door, and you're just focusing on improving yourself and helping the brother next to you get better. And that kaupapa has flourished big time.
I've seen the photos, bro, and yeah, from the start of it, I'm like far up.
Yep.
You mentioned that word needed, and you don't realise until something starts up that how much it is needed.
Yeah, bro.
Because that kaupapa is free.
Yeah.
The kaupapa is
So free. But the biggest thing for us is seeing our fathers outside of their class time prioritise themselves first. Because I live by the mantra of happy wife, happy life, which is a kaupapa I still live by. But in order to have a happy life, we have to think about ourselves. So we have to put time and effort back into ourselves, so we can give our energy back to our wives and our kids. So seeing our papas putting that little bit of time, that 1 hour a day of the week into themselves, bro. Now they're walking up the tracks with their kids. They're walking here and there by themselves on the off days. They're prioritising their hauora. They're talking about not just the physical side, but the doctor checkups, just all those, the offsprings, the offshoots of what physical fitness does. Afterwards, like before those classes, you're dreading it. Like, oh, I don't want to do this, it's going to be hard. But as soon as it finishes, the endorphins go up, you're happy as, all of that. And it's all of those, bro. Like, we've got...
Is that your win?
Yeah, that's my one.
That's your win,
That's my one, bro. Because I've lost cousins to suicide, bro. And 1 year I lost 3. No, 2. Then the following year, or not too long after, I lost another one. And that breaks my heart. Like we always say, we always hear doors open, come have a kōrero. But when you're in those situations, you don't want to do nothing. No, it doesn't matter. So if we can create an environment where you don't have to speak if you don't want to, you can just come in, have a train, then you can go. Kapai. Because once people start to break down physically, like displaying, geez, I've had stuff I can't do anymore. Then they start to feel more comfortable in those situations. They start getting fitter, and other things start to pop up, which things have popped up. And I had a few of our brothers come and have a kōrero. I'll never say what they said because that was their kōrero to me. And I always tell them, I've got your back. I'm always here in your corner. And just as I know most of the brothers there in my corner too. So it's just creating that environment where you feel safe. Where you feel safe to let your guard down. To know that, yeah, I'm going to die. But hopefully there's an improvement the next day. As I mentioned before, the physical changes are just a bonus to us. It's all the things you don't
inner
see.
Things.
Yeah, all those inner things, man.
Was Tūtaniwha available prior to any of those circumstances that you went through?
Yeah.
It was at the time?
Oh, just in our shed. Bro. So we didn't have the facilities that were there at the moment. We were just running just classes. Anyone want to come and have a jam? Come and have a jam. But not as intentional as this. So I think we're now that we've been doing this kaupapa for a long time, we're starting to make intentional moves into figuring out ways where we can develop more than just the physical aspect.
You mentioned off camera, what is your values you use running the gym?
Yeah, so Te whare tapa is like our framework, our whakaruruhau that we try to follow, that we do follow. So te whare tapa is our 4 pillars of overall health and well-being by Mason Jury. You got taha tinana, the physical well-being, taha whānau, social well-being, taha wairua, spiritual well-being, and you've got tā hinenga or mental well-being. So in order for a person to be able to stand tall and strong in this world, all four pillars must be stable, must be strong. Pērā ki tō tātou whare, if one of our pou in our whare a week, go on a lean, if all three are weak and one strong, ka pakaru te whare, the house breaks, the house will fall. So it's just like in life, bro. It's easy to hide certain aspects of our well-being. Like,
if you're looking at it in that aspect as a whole, you know, I can put on a flash clothes and nice suit and tie, but and look the part.
Yeah, but deep down, bro, your house is starting to crumble. Right? So it's just figuring out ways where you or a kaupapa can help support whoever walks into our whare and help support, develop whatever pou they want to, nourish, tautoko that pou. Many different ways, bro.
Because you mentioned before about happy wife, happy life, and I don't know. No, I'm with you, brother. You know, I think every aspect that I do in my life is in place to please my wife. You know, hope that my wife is doing good, like thinks that I'm doing good, you know, and proud of me or appreciates me. You know, a lot of men won't say that, but we want that and we crave that. You know, we crave for appreciation and acknowledgement to know that we're on the right path. You know, that is our fuel to keep going. You know, so, but I do believe what you're saying. I think in order for that to happen, we need to make sure that we're good.
Yeah, bro.
You know, I live by three things if within a whānau. If you have a whānau, it's important for me as a husband to make sure that I'm okay. And then the next step is to make sure that our marriage is okay, you know. And then after that is to make sure our tamariki are okay.
Yeah, bro.
You know, if I'm empty, what am I giving my wife?
Yep.
If I've got nothing to give and I'm tired and I'm exhausted, she's receiving nothing too. Yeah. And then vice versa, as a couple, if we're both empty, what are we giving our tamariki?
Yeah, bro.
You know, and I think that's so important. I feel like where a lot of our whānau, sorry, I'll just speak on behalf of me, where I went wrong in life, that I believe that didn't work for me, is I focused on my tamariki. And everything was about them, for them, not knowing that I was neglecting myself and neglecting my wife through it.
Mm.
And the moment that I empowered me in self-development and went on the journey of that, things changed. Things changed for me. You know, when I was a lot stronger, a lot happier, guess what they got? They got happier men.
Yeah.
You know, and that flourished through my wife, which flourished to our children.
Yeah, bro.
You know, so it's definitely like a waterfall, like a domino thing that can happen. So.
Oh, bro. So I was lucky. I was lucky that I fell into place with my wife. Last year I started to get into a lull. Started to get, a bit low, just giving too much and not being able to fill back up my cup. And she's told me at the end of the day, you need to start going back to Taupo, to my old gym, so I can fill my cup up. And that was the best decision I made, bro. Just the 2 days a week, 2 hours of the week, where I can just focus on nothing, just go back into my old gym, go back to my whānau with my whānau, my old coach, and just be able to put all my energy into myself, bro.
Well, to take all the pōtais off, eh?
Yeah.
To be able to just put all that weight down just for a second.
Yeah.
Bro, it's amazing, eh, bro? You know, we all need that.
Yeah, bro.
You know, we all need a space and a place that where we can just put everything down. I know that I've got to pick them back up.
Yeah.
I understand that. But can I just sit them down here for a second?
Yeah.
You know, and I think where we get a lot of pressure builds up and things compound and get a bit overwhelming, is when we just don't let it go for a second.
Yeah,
you know,
bro.
hold on to it a bit too long. Yeah.
And that was the best decision I've made. I've only been going back 3 weeks now, but haven't been happier.
Well, just talking to you, giving your heart, you know, your wairua, your ahua, seems to be definitely one of the best traits that you have,
Thank you, bro.
but also probably the worst.
Yeah, bro. And she says that to me too. Yeah, bro. My wife tells me all the time.
You know, it's like, and then just hearing what you do, and they whānau, it's like, oh, it's all good, can't pay, and it's like, but at the end of the day, who does that affect?
Yeah.
Hey? It builds them up because they can still go, and you know, sometimes we, as you're saying before, focusing on ourselves, sometimes it's that too. As much as our heart is like, oh, but they need a place and they need this, sometimes it's like, oh, what about my family?
Yeah, bro.
And then what about me? What about my wife? What about my babies? You know, and they're the people that I'm trying to make happy first. And if my home is not stable and living and breathing te whare tapa whā, then who am I to embrace it for someone else?
Yeah. Hard out.
And this is coming from a place of a brother still learning. I ain't got it all figured out, brother. I'm still learning. You know, this is not a brother sitting on the pie and talking down. This is a brother speaking to you and speaking to myself too.
Yeah.
You know?
Hard. Hard. And that's what I say to everyone too. I don't know everything. Well, I'm learning as you're learning too. We're all learning together. And that's a beautiful thing, bro. If you're all learning together, you're all helping each other. Equal input. You know, all striving to some sort of outcome.
Well, I know in our rohe, hauora is not overly pushed. You know, it's not something that you see. You know, if you were to go to a different suburb, like let's say you went to the beachfront of Papamoa or the Mount, you know, everyone's running, everyone's walking their dogs, it's a visual thing that you're always seeing, and you know, you're sitting on the couch looking at your donut thinking, oh, I better go for a walk, you know? It's a thing that you see. So being able to create a space for our rohe, for our whānau, for our people, for our community, bro, like, from a person that lives in the rohe, bro, thank you, bro. You know, it's a space that you want for all our whānau to have. You know, even if there's a lot of whānau that are sitting on the fence not willing to take that or ready to take that step, it's there. You know, when you talk about options and growing up with options, you know, very slim in our rohe. You know, so to have something like that now, I'm not too sure. Has there been a gym ever in Murupara?
I don't know, bro. I've no idea. I remember I was talking to some of the whānau around here. There used to be a kickboxing gym, but I'm not too positive. I think Shane Chopper Chapman used to do it out of the shed, teach some of the ones around here. And he's a world champion, NZ champion. He lives up in Auckland now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I'm not 100% positive on that.
No, I've been like, you know, I fill up my truck and stuff and I see your classes and I see everyone running and, you know, it's like, mean mahi, you know, because it's things that you want to see in our community.
We've got so much support, it's not even funny. You know, in particular our coaches, you know, they're all working full time, you know, doing their own mahi, but then they come and tautoko the kaupapa, just because they believe in the kaupapa as well, and we're grateful as them.
So you also coach up there as well?
Yeah. So we got me, my wife, Botman, or Scotty Thompson, doesn't like his proper name, Nahi Raka Te Kurapa, and Amy Unuwai, and also Amy is Botman's partner, and then we've got Nahi Raka and her partner, Horo. So we've got heaps of support, bro, and we've been lucky to have that support since day dot. When we first started, we had another couple who were our backbone as well, Grace and Chanel. And it's just, you know,
it's like family.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, it is.
More like family than employees, and
yeah, it is.
More like
without them, this kaupapa would fail. And I always tell them that, and it's true. You know, kaupapa this big can't just rest on our shoulders. That's why I don't like to say that we're the owners of this kaupapa. We're just the guardians, bro. We're just the caretakers of this kaupapa.
Just kaitaki.
Yeah, kaitiaki of this kaupapa. That one day
I like that, buddy.
our whānau will take it on board if they choose to and carry it on and develop it even more.
You know, I spoke to an amazing man, Te Takiro, and he said, I'm just planting seeds, brother.
Yeah.
If I'm not there to reap the reward of that plant or flower blossom, it's okay, pai ana.
Yeah.
As long as I know I've planted the seed.
Yeah, hard, bro.
You know, and I think with your kaupapa, it'll flourish, bro, and it's flourishing. You know, those seeds that you've planted there might be some that haven't shot up yet, but just waiting for the season, brother.
Yeah, bro.
You know.
I think koina. Generational changes won't happen in my lifetime, but it'll happen in my kids' lifetime. So just like as the brother just said, if you can plant those seeds for those flowers to blossom during when my kids are older, that's done my job. Happy as.
I seen this thing and I said, I'm making mokopuna decisions.
Yeah.
And I thought that was cool.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, let's say if I was 60, you know, and I decided to, well, let's say I was 70, and I decided to plant an apple tree. You know, the whakaaro would be, my babies will be able to eat this.
Eat the
You know,
fruit.
my mokopuna will be able to eat the fruit. You know, so we could just have that mindset in life then. Choice. What's a quote or a whakatauki you live by?
I got two, bro. One is from Auntie Kathy Jews, one of the principals over in Rumata. E raupa o ku ringa kia o mai o ku wawata. So raupa is just the colours on your hands, bro. Wawata is your goals. So that's just talking about hard work and dedication. My dreams and aspirations come to light. So kia me raupa o ku ringa kia o mai o ku wawata. And the other one is mahi a te wairua. Just go with the flow. Wherever I'm meant to be, I'm meant to be. Yeah, I believe in that too. No, ko whakaritea kitea taku ara. My path has already been set. It's up to me to be able to jump those obstacles, navigate those hurdles to get to where I was always meant to be. And I think where I am now is where I was always meant to be. Ain't no way in my lifetime I would ever think I'll be living in Murupara, bro.
Yeah.
I didn't even know about Murupara until I met my wife. But hey, mahi a te wairua, I'm meant to be here, so just do the best that I can.
Well, if I go from the community response in the morning, bro, you're definitely welcomed here. You know. But I guess, you know, as you said, you know, flowing with your wairua, you know, I guess just like our awa, it's a lot harder to fight the current than go with it.
Yeah, bro. Hard. If it's meant to be, it's meant to be.
If you were to give someone that is going through a hard time or finding themselves a little bit stuck, what's something you would say to them?
Don't be too hard on yourself. Yeah, don't be too hard on yourself. You've got to deal with a lot more pressure. You don't need you to put more pressure on your shoulders. Just keep persevering. Persevere and just trust in yourself. That's what that's what I would say to myself if I was going through those dark times. Don't put too much pressure on yourself. When I was going through those dark times, I wish I said that to myself. Yeah, don't put too much pressure on yourself. You've got enough pressure and troubles and raris and taumahatanga to worry about in the outside world. Trust in yourself, believe in yourself, and eventually you'll see the light, whatever that light may look like. Yeah, just keep going.
What's something that you lean on when you do have those hard times?
Home. going back to where I was brought up.
Tiranga wāwai.
Yeah, bro, my tūranga wāwai. Hoki ki tōku awa. Go back to my awa. Go back to where I remember the times of me and my little cousins playing rugby on the fields, getting into fights, doing silly stuff. But it's those times there where I feel happy, bro. Yeah.
How important is our identity, do you think? You know, where we're from, what makes us? How important is it to stay aligned with that?
Bro, it's who I am. It's who I am. So I was lucky enough to be able to be brought up in te ao Māori, tikanga Māori, where I was brought up. I wouldn't know where I would be if I would me karei te moe o ko Aiaho. I wouldn't know who I was if I didn't know my whakapapa, my kōrero tuku iho, my reo. I reckon I'd be lost too, bro. Like, it was only me and my brother. Growing up, only me and my brother out of all my cousins that were living in Taupo that went to Kurukapa Māori. We had older cousins that went to Kurukapa Māori and Hawaii Waititi up in Auckland. Yeah, we're lucky, bro. We're lucky to be able to be brought up in that kaupapa and immersed in our reo and our tikanga, surrounded by all this beautiful kōrero. Because once you know the kōrero and you go to those places, you like connect the dots, and you just get a sense of pride in that place. It's not just the awa, it's a place where your tupuna and all this kōrero come from. It's not just a mountain, it's where your tupuna, where your atsa, where your tatara, there, bro. It's
Our pūrākau is everything,
yeah, bro. It's a significant place. It's not just the hills, it's not just the mountains, it's not just the stream.
It has a story.
There's a story behind it. How it got that name, why it got that name, why is it so important in our iwi. So it's just giving meaning to those things. I love it, bro.
If someone was on the journey of just beginning to start discover themselves within te ao Māori, what would you say to them? You know, there's a lot of whānau that are whakamā. I know being brought up in Australia and moving home to New Zealand only for 4 years now, so a lot of our whānau that still, even though everything is at the front door, they haven't tried. You know?
It's scary, bro. I can imagine how scary it is, bro. You know, especially with all this kōrero around that, you need to have your reo to be Māori. Or, you know, if you got your reo, you're more Māori.
What do you believe?
Nah, kare tika te kōrero. I don't believe in that, bro. Being Māori is not about the reo, it's about how we carry ourselves. How we carry ourselves, not just in front of people, but in life. Being Māori is about, you know, our tūpuna ko, there's that saying, how te mea nui o te ao, e tangata, e tangata, e tangata. What is the most important thing? It's people. So if we are able to whakaaro mokopuna, think mokopuna, if we are able to carry ourselves with dignity, with mana, and help pick up people around us, that's Māori is. Now that word rangatira is te raranga i tō tira, to combine and gather your group, or whatever group that is, and to uplift each other. So if you're able to do that, bro, you're rangatira, you're Māori as. You know, the reo is just, for me, the reo is a gateway to be able to understand more of my culture. You know, but that doesn't mean I'm more Māori than anyone else. It just means I have an avenue to be able to deepen my knowledge of my culture. Doesn't mean it's blocked off to anyone that doesn't know Māori. If they need to ask questions, ask them. I'll be happy to give you the answer if I'm able to. If not, I'll look for it or I'll point you in the direction. But bro, that's the way you carry yourself.
It's all our tikanga, our values that we live by, our manaakitanga, whakawhanaungatanga.
Yeah, bro.
You know, for me, I think if we live by those values, then you are more than Māori.
Yeah, bro.
Hey, you know, it's important. to carry those things. Like, look, you've just invited me into your home, and and made me feel welcomed, and that's Māori to me.
Yeah, bro, hard.
Not how many tamoko you have or how fluent you are with our with our reo.
Yeah.
It's our values we live by.
Hard, bro. My mum doesn't know Māori. My dad doesn't know Māori. There's only me, my brother, and our nan. And my koro passed when we were younger. They're the only ones in our immediate whānau that could speak Māori. But mum, the most Māori person I know. Rangatira, raranga I tōna tira. She's always there helping everyone. Get the shirt off your back. Same with dad. Always thought about his whānau. Not just me and my siblings, but everyone. He'll die for his whānau. And they don't have the reo, but the wairu of Māori. Just being able to carry yourself with mana and dignity. That's Māori to me, bro.
Well, that's like my cousin actually just got his pūhoro in Rotorua at our pā and at the Moko 101. And even for me, it was inspiring for us. He was within our whānau, our big whānau. He was pretty much the one that paved the way, has paved the way for a lot of us to reclaim our identity with moko. And it was beautiful to be able to attend and watch. But at the same time, for a person that didn't really take much thought into that, and had a thought of I wasn't worthy or not to wear or obtain anything like that. Gave me an inspiration of I am worthy.
Yeah.
Not in a sense of okay, I want to have that too. It was more when I seen it, I was proud.
Yeah.
I was proud to be Māori. When I seen him endure that pain. That mamai, there was a lot of mana in that mamai, and it wasn't just moko, it was spiritual. It was something, it's like definitely like reclaiming, reclamation that was happening through all of us. At our pā marae in Te Arawa, our ofwata, hene mō poi, there's been no moko, no bloodshed on our pā, ever.
Shit.
He was the first one. And he went and spoke and sat down to one of our queer and asked her and told her his whakaaro and everything, and she ended up saying yes. And that was the biggest, paving the way for a lot of us. Changing our tikanga, for our generation. A lot of people think this is a tikanga, I think it's just our values and it's pretty much our rules on our marae. I'm not saying that lessening the fact of tikanga is tikanga, but some can be changed.
Yeah, hard.
And when he done that, definitely paved the way, bro.
Hard, bro. And for anyone that wanting to start their real Māori journey, go to someone you trust. I know how hard, I can understand how hard it is for you to be able to speak, just because of all the, geez, if I get this wrong, I'm going to sound dumb. Okay. Like, we're lucky to have Miruai White. He's open as, if you're willing to learn te reo Māori, the door's there. Especially here. Best way to do anything is just to start and take the lessons on board.
Is te ao Māori something that you live by within your whānau?
Yeah, bro.
Your babies?
Yeah, our babies. I've been terrible, bro. I've been terrible in terms of talking Māori to my kids. And that's one thing that I know for myself, that me and my wife have to improve. Te koro Māori kia ora mai, te tamariki, mā tamariki. And that's just lazy, bro. I'll be honest, it's just been lazy. But yeah, te ao Māori is a big part of our lives.
Hey, but at least you're aware of that, eh?
Yeah.
At least you're aware of that, brother. For me, same thing as me last year. Sent my babies to a koro kaupapa, and I thought, they're going to a koro kaupapa. they're going to learn te reo, mean they're going to have this and obtain this. How are they going to retain anything if it's not in our home?
Yeah, it's not enough, bro.
You know, it's not enough. You know, it's just like having a whakaaro to say that we send our babies to kura and they're going to learn their times tables.
Yeah.
You know, if we ain't giving them extra at home, you know, it's not the teacher's job to just do that, it's us as parents too.
Yeah, bro.
You know?
It's not enough. Yeah. I think we're lucky. We're lucky. So even though mum and dad didn't talk Māori, all my teachers were my cousins, my uncles, so we spent a lot of time at their house. We just immersed in it. But, yeah, if you're willing to learn your reo, reclaim your reo, do it. It's not going to make you more Māori, but it's going to give you opportunities to be able to understand your culture more, to deepen your whakaaro.
What is Māori?
Don't know. I don't know, bro. That's hard.
Everything.
Everything. Everything. I know and there are a lot more people out there that know more about te taiao Māori than I do, but don't have te reo. No, so.
Well, I guess there's a lot they have, you know, when it comes to moko or it comes to carving or it comes to, you know, the mātauranga is a lot more higher in those aspects.
Yeah.
But I guess for a normal person, you know, they might believe in what they believe life is, but I definitely believe in that word kaitiaki.
Yeah, bro.
You know, we are here just to protect our people, the taiao, until the next one.
Yep, hard. Whatu ngaro te tangata toitu te whenua. And when men are lost, the land stays forever. So it's just our job, as you said, to look after the land for our future generations. To just keep developing, not only the land, but ourselves too.
Well, I see that with you, brother. I see that with you making changes, not only within yourself and within your hapu, bro, but in our rohe. And it's aspiring to be able to sit down and get to know you, just for a second. You know, just to get to know the person without all the pōtais. You know, just get to know you. Hey. You know, when we introduce people, we say, oh, I'm this, I'm this, I'm this, I'm this. But who are you behind that, you know? Yeah. And I've had the privilege to sit down with you, brother, and I really appreciate that. So I'm going to have to, no one heard this on camera. I'm going to have to take up your offer this afternoon and meet you down at the gym. First time I've been to the gym was just today, and I might have to come down for one of those manatani. Yeah, bro. Manatani classes, bro. Please be kind to me, brother. You know, I hope I've manaki'd you to look after you too, bro. You know. I'll be privileged to come down, bro, and definitely come and kōrero down there. You know, and if you would love to have me, I'd love to be able to just say a kōrero, maybe even after. Yeah, maybe. You know, just to highlight something, highlight well-being, I guess, for all our tāne down there, and just to shed some light, bring awareness, I guess. Yeah, right. Yeah. I appreciate that. After a sweat out, after a sweat out. Now, well, bro, here on Open Ends, there's no big wrap-up, no tidy endings. We'll leave the door open for the next thought, the next story, the next conversation. This is Open Ends. No pressure, just space. Cheers, bro. Cheers, bro. Thanks for having me. Having you here, my bro. It's been mean.
Thank you for having me. Good kōrero. Cool.
No, bro, that's all it is, bro. Just a kōrero, bro. I had all these questions and I didn't even need to look at my book. You know, I had all these questions, bro. And I was like, oh, fuck. You know, sometimes I just let the kōrero flow. You know, that's what it's just
rambling. What am I even saying?
Spoiled, huh? Thank you. See, what is Māori? Manaki tanga.